Butch Cassidy. In the rugged landscapes of the Old West, a name echoed through the canyons and prairies. Butch Cassidy, the mastermind of train and bank heists that struck fear into the hearts of the frontier towns, and the enigmatic leader of the infamous Wild Bunch Gang. Born as Robert Leroy Parker on April 13, 1866 in Beaver, Utah Territory, Butch was the first of 13 children of English immigrants who both embraced the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints during their time in the United Kingdom. His dad, then 12 years old, joined his family's journey to Salt Lake City in 1856 as Mormon pioneers, while his mother, hailing from Sunderland in northeast England, made the transatlantic move with her family at the age of 14 in 1859. Butch's upbringing took root on the family ranch near Circleville. He, however, left his home when he was a teenager. During his employment on a dairy ranch, crossed paths with a cattle thief named Mike Cassidy. Following this encounter, he gained experience on various ranches and undertook a short apprenticeship with a butcher in Rock Springs, Wyoming Territory. It was during this time that he acquired his nickname Butch, derived from his work as a butcher. Later, in tribute to his old friend and mentor, he adopted the last name Cassidy. Butch's initial involvement in criminal activities was minor. Around 1880, he traveled to another town to visit a clothes shop, only to find it closed. Faced with this situation, he broke into the shop, taking a pair of jeans and some pie. To compensate, he left an IOU with a promise to pay on his next visit. The clothier pressed charges, leading to a trial where Cassidy was acquitted by a jury. Despite this episode, he continued working on ranches until 1884. In that year, he relocated to Telluride, Colorado, ostensibly in search of employment, but possibly with the intention of delivering stolen horses to buyers. Cassidy embraced the cowboy lifestyle in Wyoming Territory and Montana Territory until his return to Telluride in 1887. It was there that he crossed paths with Matt Warner, the proprietor of a racehorse. Together, Cassidy and Warner participated in various horse racing events, sharing the winnings between them. On June 24, 1889, Butch initiated his first bank robbery alongside Warner and two accomplices, targeting the San Miguel Valley Bank in Telluride. The heist netted them approximately $21,000, equivalent to $684,000 in 2022, and they sought refuge in the Robbers' Roost, a secluded hideout in the southeastern corner of Utah Territory. In 1890, Butch acquired a ranch on the outskirts of Du Bois, Wyoming, situated on the opposite side of the state from the notorious Hole in the Wall, a natural geological formation and favored hideout for outlaw gangs of the time. Despite appearances, Butch's ranching pursuits were likely a cover for clandestine activities, possibly involving the Hole in the Wall outlaws, as financial success in ranching eluded him. In early 1894, Butch became romantically entangled with Ann Bassett, a rancher and outlaw. Her father, who supplied Butch with horses and beef, had business dealings with him. During the same year, Butch faced arrest in Lander, Wyoming, on charges of horse theft and possibly running a protection racket among local ranchers. Sentenced to 2 years, Butch spent 18 months in the Wyoming State Prison in Laramie. Released and pardoned in January 1896, he briefly connected with his older sister, Josie, before rekindling his relationship with Anne. Butch played a key role in the formation of the Wild Bunch, a group of criminals assembled sometime after his release in 1896. The gang derived its name from the Doolin Dalton Gang, also known as the Wild Bunch. On June 2, 1899, the Wild Bunch carried out a notorious robbery of a Union Pacific Overland Flyer passenger train near Wilcox, Wyoming. The heist attracted widespread attention, leading to a massive manhunt. Although numerous lawmen participated, the outlaws evaded capture. Subsequent events included a Colorado and Southern Railroad train robbery near Folsom, New Mexico, on July 11, 1899. Butch's closest friend William Ellsworth Elsie Lay, among others, participated in the heist, possibly orchestrated and directed by Butch himself. A shootout with local law enforcement eventually ensued, resulting in the conviction of Elsie for the murder of 2 people. He received a life sentence at the New Mexico State Penitentiary. Following each robbery, the Wild Bunch typically scattered, fleeing in different directions, only to reunite later at predetermined locations such as the Hole in the Wall, Robber's Roost, or Fanny Porter's Brothel in San Antonio. In the early 1900s, when professional photographer John Swartz snapped a photograph of 5 young men, he had no idea it would end up on a wanted poster. Swartz and his brothers, considered Fort Worth's premier photographers, were unaware that the dantily dressed men were notorious outlaws. Pleased with his work, Swartz placed a copy of the photo in his studio window. It wasn't until a Pinkerton detective recognized Butch and his friends that Swartz knew he had taken what was to become a legendary portrait of Wild Bunch. Later called Fort Worth 5, the men in the photograph were Harry Longbaugh, the Sundance Kid, Ben Kilpatrick, Butch, Will Carver, and Harvey Logan. They had been in Fort Worth for 2 months, but by the time law enforcement issued the poster on May 15, 1901, the elusive gang had already moved on. Butch and Sundance Kid eventually fled to New York City, feeling continuous pressure from the numerous law enforcement agencies pursuing them and seeing their gang falling apart. On November 3, 1908, near San Vicente in southern Bolivia, 2 masked American bandits, suspected to be Butch and the Sundance Kid, attacked a courier carrying the payroll for the Aramayo Franc and CIA silver mine. Three days later, witnesses spotted them in San Vicente, leading local authorities to surround their lodging house on November 6th. A gunfight ensued, lasting several hours into the night. During a lull at 2 a.m., the mayor heard screams and gunshots from inside the house. The morning of November 7th, authorities discovered 2 bodies in the house with multiple bullet wounds. One presumed to be Sundance had a forehead wound, and the other believed to be Butch had a temple injury. The local police speculated that Butch likely shot the fatally wounded Sundance before taking his own life. Though identified as the Aramayo robbers, the Bolivian authorities couldn't ascertain their real names or positively identify them. Buried in San Vicente Cemetery, the bodies were searched for in 1991 by Clyde Snow, but no DNA matching the two's living relatives was found. In 2017, a new search near Good Springs, Nevada, unearthed human remains that did not match the provided DNA. To this day, rumors surrounding Butch's survival persist, with numerous films capturing his tale. In 1951, the Texas Rangers featured John Doucette as Butch and Ian McDonald as the Sundance Kid, confronting two convicts enlisted by John B. Jones to bring them to justice. Subsequent films such as Wyoming Renegades, 1955, The Three Outlaws, 1956, starring Neville Brand and Alan Hale Jr., and The Maverick Queen, 1956, with Butch and Sundance as supporting characters, continue to delve into the notorious outlaws' lives. Later films, including The Gambler v. Playing for Keeps, 1994, The Secret of Giving, 1999, featuring Thomas Ian Griffith, Outlaw Trail, The Treasure of Butch Cassidy, 2006, and Blackthorn, 2011, with Sam Shepard, continued to explore Cassidy's legacy, depicting him living under the alias James Blackthorn in a secluded Bolivian village 2 decades after his 1908 disappearance. In the vast tapestry of American history, the saga of Butch Cassidy stands as a riveting chapter, a tale of a charismatic outlaw whose name became synonymous with the untamed spirit of the Wild West. Born Robert Leroy Parker, Cassidy's journey from a humble Utah upbringing to the notorious leader of the Wild Bunch banditry is a narrative that continues to captivate the collective imagination. Cassidy's exploits reached their zenith during the late 19th and early 20th centuries, marked by audacious bank and train heists that defied the law enforcement of the time. Yet, it was his partnership with the Sundance Kid and the notorious Wild Bunch that elevated Cassidy to legendary status. The echoes of their exploits reverberated through the canyons and plains of the American West, creating a folklore that transcended mere criminal notoriety. The cinematic realm, too, embraced Butch Cassidy's legacy with fervor. From the gritty realism of Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid to the whimsical charm of Cat Ballou, filmmakers sought to capture the essence of this outlaw icon. Each portrayal added layers to the enigma, blurring the lines between historical fact and romanticized fiction. As the dust settled on Cassidy's purported demise in a Bolivian standoff, his legacy endured, a symbol of rebellion, camaraderie, and the complex allure of the outlaw lifestyle. The films inspired by his life not only recount his criminal escapades but also delve into the human aspects of his character, the camaraderie, the cunning strategies, and the inevitable sense of tragedy that accompanies a life lived on the edge. In the final frames of the cinematic reel that encapsulates Butch Cassidy's legacy, we are left with more than a mere outlaw. We encounter a symbol of an era when the frontier was still untamed, and the pursuit of freedom took on the guise of a daring, if not illicit, adventure. Butch Cassidy's story endures, inviting us to ponder the complexities of a man whose exploits have become indelibly etched in the cultural landscape, a legend that refuses to fade into the distant echoes of the past.
And with that, we have come to the end of our video. Please subscribe, like and click that notification bell to be notified of our future episodes. This is Ben saying, See you next time.